Well, hello everybody and welcome to the second layout update. It's the day after New Year's Day, and also I would like to show you some of my stock updates which I got for Christmas, some of my Christmas money, and also just do an update on the layout as well. It's been a while since I did episode 1, and if you did see that, you'll notice that the layout has had an absolutely massive change. And also we have put this piece of perspex up, although more on that later. So as you can see, I have got some of the stock which I bought or received over Christmas. So let's take a look at some of that stock now. Well, to start off with, you've got this. This is a Bachmann Class 150/2, which means that it is the version which has the gangway connection on the front. And it's in limited edition of 512 in Regional Railways Joint Merseyrail livery as well. Absolutely beautiful model. Obviously it's the 2-car set. And I've always wanted a Class 150 because, well, I'm quite familiar with them. I see them quite a lot, and also it's operating from Liverpool to Manchester Victoria, so I probably will have seen that unit operating sometimes, so good marks for that. The second model, we've got Halley's Comet 86504, which is in the, I think, is that the chemical colours or is that the intermodal colours? I'm not too sure on what this symbol means. If you do know, please comment into the comment box below. But yeah, very, very nice model with the correct, I believe they call them a scissor pantograph. Not too sure why, but still, very, very nice model. The third one, we have a mainline pannier tank. Now, unfortunately, it has got its buffer missing on that end, and also on, whoops, also there as well. But other than that, it's still an absolutely really nice loco. And the chassis has been weathered, not by me, by the previous owner, and it runs really well. The fourth model I bought myself, which is a mainline model locomotive and a Triang chassis. I got this off eBay. It was only something like about 11 quid, and it did actually come with a Britannia tender. So I'm currently giving that a project to do. I'm going to actually modify the bodywork so that it will actually fit with the Triang 060 chassis. Next we have the Lima Class 47, and this is in the Great Western livery, also named Thor. I don't know whether that's still in operation. If you could tell me, would be much appreciated. Also, we've got an Intercity Class 37401, and it is actually named Mary Queen of Scots. That's also Lima. And we've also got the Deltic. This is 55006 or 9006, it says on the side. And that's named the Fife and Forfar Yeomanry. Now, you did see this Class 60 in the last episode. And this is 6005 Ninesman and Dalesman. If you did see my previous video on diesel trains running on the layout, you notice that I didn't run this. Now, that was purely because the traction tyres kept coming off and it was derailing a lot. So I'll have to get a set of new traction tyres, refit them, and then hopefully in the future I'll be able to get a video of it running. Next to that, we've got the Freightliner 57003, named Freightliner, is it Freightliner Enterprise? Oh no, Freightliner Evolution. So there we go. There's an ARC or ARC Class 59101, and it's named, I don't know if the camera will focus, it's named Village of Whatley. Is that how you pronounce that? I'm not too sure. Then here we've got 3 Bachmann HTA wagons. 2 of these I got off my mum for Christmas, and then they went to Hatton's and bought another one, along with some graffiti transfers. So I've put a couple on either side. 2 of them I've put the graffiti on, and then the third one is completely intact with no graffiti on at all. And then here we have these 2 absolutely beautiful locomotives. And these are Athen Trains Blue Box models of Wisconsin Central SD45s, I believe they are. And there's the dummy unit and the power unit as well. 6520 and 6524. Next to those we have an absolutely beautiful Lima Class 20 in Hunslet Barclay livery, limited edition of 850, I think. Here we have a Hornby City of Lichfield Duchess class. Now it's quite a nice model, but it does run very erratically, and I have checked that, and I don't know why it's running like that, but we'll have to look into it further. But in the meantime, the cosmetics of the locomotive are very nice, but other than that, a bit dodgy on the motor. And finally we've got an Intercity 125. This is the power car and the dummy car. Now I did actually have a set of these before, and they'll be coming up in some videos later on, but there was a problem with the motor and it just kept screeching and screeching, and in the end it became that bad that the motor ended up burning out, and it wouldn't run. But the story behind these two is that my brother had a friend in work who was clearing out his house, and he found this set in his loft in the box, and he was about to throw it away and threw it in a skip, and my brother said, "No, hang on a minute, I'll take it." And he actually gave it to me, and so I've got it now, and it runs really well. It can max about 7 of the short Mark III coaches, what were made in the 1980s, so that they could accommodate the first radius curves. So that's quite nice that I've actually got them now. And over here we've got a little Airfix Spitfire kit that I've made as well. And then obviously I've got a lineup of model trams. Now these were bought as a job lot by my mum for Christmas. These two here were already my own, and they didn't come with the rest of them. But other than that, a mixture of 1 in 64 and 1 in 76.2 scale trams. All very nice. Most of them are Corgi, although these two here are made by EFE, I believe that's what they're called. I'm not too sure on that. But yeah, very, very nice lineup of model trams there. And then also we got this. Now I actually found this when clearing out the house, and I got this from Edge Hill Station. Now it's one of the pieces which attaches the rail and stops it moving around in the sleeper chair, and we found this at Edge Hill Station underneath one of the benches, and so we've had it ever since, and we just happened to find it again, so that's actually quite good. So now that's enough for the update on the stock. We can move on to what has actually happened on the layout. Well, first of all the track is pretty much now ballasted. There's only the section where the depot and sidings are going to be over there, which isn't ballasted yet. But other than that, very nicely done. We've finally got a platform in place, and we've also got the booking office platform as well. Obviously, we've got the 2 main lines running through here, all done as well. We had to put a new set of points in here because Pico points are absolutely rubbish, and virtually everything derailed on them, so we replaced that for a set of Hornby points, and now everything runs fine. Now over here we've done one of the scenic parts of the layout. It's kind of a hill at the side, and on this hill we put a couple of trees and details and telegraph poles and a couple of vehicles. And now the reason for that is that this chap driving the car, I assume, has probably been off-roading and has got stuck in the ground, and as you can see there's a couple of guys trying to dig the car out, and over there we've got the camera crew interviewing a man who was probably a witness to the scene. We've got an old tow truck over there, and then the police with their little Mini Cooper as well are also being interviewed by the film crew. So it looks a fairly realistic scene, and everybody who's seen it has said that that's been done very nicely, and it does look quite realistic. Now the second area, which has actually been completely done, is this. Now this is a kind of a little house scene. Start off, we've got a couple of trees as well, telegraph poles and a little pen at the back with 2 horses. You've got a caravan, a set of swings, a greenhouse, and also some little people with a washing line, which is actually quite nice. These are, I think they're made by a company called Notch. It's a German company, and you can get them in Hattons. They make all different kinds of figures, and the detail on them is just absolutely brilliant. If you want any detail for a cameo scene, definitely get these, because the detail on them is brilliant. Obviously, we've also got the little, what do they call these? Greenhouses, yeah. And also a little cardboard house kit. And I've done a couple of little details with the hedges, and also the fences at the side of the line, and then a little pathway. So that's actually done quite nice. Now over here we've got the main junction area and the depot. I'll just move the Class 150 out of the way so we can get a slightly better look at the track work. Now you can see here the points aren't ballasted yet. I'm going to have to do them a different method to what I do with the normal pieces of track. But you'll notice that I have put in some third rail connections. Now these are not real. Now, because I was hoping to get some of the Bachmann or Hornby VPs, I think they're called, the Class 411 or 423, I was going to buy those, but then I thought it would look a bit unrealistic. So what I did, with the track that was left over from building the layout, I took it off the sleepers, ripped the rails out, and then I just attached them to the sides. So it actually looks like the rails have a third rail connection on there, which does actually give me a little bit better things to what I can do regards for stock. As you can see, it comes to the this set of points here. Everywhere else has still got to be done, but it's a nice little detail, and I think that the effect is actually really, really good. Obviously here we've got a slight embankment with the ballast and a set of buffers, and the greenery along here, a couple of little telegraph poles. This one has actually fell over because I accidentally knocked it the other day, but it's also got a little signal and a hut, and the signal box, that's going to have a bit more weathering done, and also it has to have the roof fixed as well. Now, if we move on to the depot, as you can see, we've got the Class 142 Pacer in the depot. This is currently unoperational because it's going to be hardwired. You can see underneath the wires have came detached. Excuse me one moment and I'll be back in a sec. Right, hello and welcome back to the layout update. As you can hear, the phone started going, which funnily enough is the 6th interruption I have had while filming this today. But as I was saying, the Pacer is going to be hardwired, so it doesn't have to use the terrible flimsy coupling that Hornby actually provide you with. So we were talking about the depot. Obviously we have got the Rovex plastic kit of the small loading bay and depot. We've got the 2 buffers and the 2 sets of track. Now you'll notice here that the track should just veer off like this and then split into the 2. But what we've done, we could reverse the train through here and around this first radius loop, and then join up back where the East Coast HST is over there. So it's kind of like a massive run round loop. If you leave the train on this line here and pulling at this siding, uncouple, run forward into this siding, and then reverse back onto the main line, back around, and then you can reattach to the other end of the train. So as well as it acting as a depot and siding, it's also used as a run round loop. So it's quite nice. It's a little bit fiddly to do, but other than that, it's a bit of a use for more track, and also it wasn't doing anything, so it would have just been a waste not to use it anyway. But the rest of the depot still isn't finished. We have got the signal here and a fence or actually a brick wall, running all the way along this side. We've got a tree and an old wagon which has been taken off its wheels and used for storage. There's a sign and a couple of little coaling stages. There's also a metal one here, Charrington's Coal and Coke. There's also an old water tower here, and also a little line side hut as well. Obviously, it's still got to be ballasted yet. I'm just waiting a little while so I can focus more on the track over here and the main line, and then I can get sorting some of the depot area out as well. Obviously, we've done the little area where the signal box is. And over here, you'll notice that this bit hasn't been ballasted at all. Now, this is because I was going to buy a Bachmann level crossing. However, Hattons feel the need that they don't want to order them anymore. And unfortunately, there are none on eBay for a buy it now. So I wasn't able to get one. So what I'm going to do is take these two soldered attachments off, replace this double short straight piece with just a single short straight piece, and then have a standard Hornby level crossing here, which isn't the best level crossing that there is, but then it's going to be better than having to have a bridge or having to wait for ages until Bachmann actually decide to bring them out again. So that's going to be done later on. And also this scene is still being built. Now, bear in mind that it looks absolutely terrible at the moment. But this is going to be a miniature railway. Now, we've got some of the 009 or HOE scale track. It's been ballasted as well, and this is going to be kind of a little park scene, or the section of a park. And here you can see we've got a platform, and this is going to be part of a little miniature railway. We've obviously got here, we've got a shredded wheat Co. Ginty, and this was actually free with shredded wheat, although I actually bought it for £1 at a model railway fair. And also I bought this. Now, this was an old LMS coach. Obviously it was N gauge, and so what I decided to do was cut out where the doors were on each compartment, raise the seats inside it, and then put little figures on. So it does actually simulate a 15-inch gauge miniature railway. This has still got to be repainted, yet the paintwork doesn't look all that great on it, and obviously it's got to be repainted on this side as well. Now, the seller only sold it because it had the wheels missing, but then the locomotive doesn't have a motor in it, and I'm not going to be running it anyway, so that didn't bother me at all. Now, here you can see we have got the little platform which is parallel to the rail as well. We've got the guy and two little barrels which are being used as a buffer stop, and also some seats and lamps and other things. We've got a gravel pathway leading off in both directions. There still need to be a couple of trees put there as well, and also the telegraph pole here. So we only need a couple more bits and pieces just to finish that off, and hopefully the scene will be as good as the detail on the other two scenes over there. You'll see here I have actually created this little memorial garden, and this is it's got a N-gauge war memorial in the middle, and also a couple of chairs and telephone box and post box at the side, and also these rather nice little trees as well. So this is going to be roughly dead centre in the middle of the layout where where this tub of ballast is. It'll be about there somewhere. Now, I did say at the beginning of this video that there's this sheet of perspex. Now, because my railway's in the room, the kitchen's through there, and the hallway is through there. So whenever people come through this room to get to the kitchen, sometimes they end up knocking over the signals or the trees. And so this does actually make the layout look a lot more professional, is that we have put this piece of perspex along the side for protection. So I can still see the models in all the glory running around through here, but then I also don't have to worry about people knocking over things like this or the trees. at the background are accidentally knocking the little chimney stacks off the houses or whichever. And so we've done that really well. We did that only the night before, and it does look quite good. Obviously we've just had to screw that to the baseboard there and there as well, and obviously you can see through the rock face, which is on the hill as well. So I think that should just about conclude the layout update for now. It'll be a while since I do the next update and stock update as well. So until then, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you in episode 3. Bye for now.